Hello celestial beings, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Celeste Simone, and today's pick a card reading we're going to find out what is their problem. So if you're having a conflict with somebody, or you're just wondering like what's up with them, why are they acting strange, this pick a card reading we're going to tap in and find out what is the real underlying problem and the energy behind the way they're acting. So if you're as excited as I am to find out what's going on with this person, then go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and let's dive into these piles. Pile number one is the Smokey Quartz. Pile number two is the Chevron Amethyst. And pile number three is the Malachite. Now's your opportunity to take a close-up look at each one of these piles and find out which pile or piles most resonate with you. Once you have found your pile or piles, you can head on down into the description box below where I've posted the timestamps for each one of these readings. Please keep in mind these are general readings, so keep the messages that resonate with you and leave the rest. Those are most likely for somebody else who also chose that pile, but I do believe everything happens for a reason, so be sure to watch the reading all the way through to the end so that you receive the message or messages that drew you to that pile. Okay, let's not waste any more time. You know what to do. I will see you over at your reading. Hello, all my celestial beings who chose pile number one with the Smokey Quartz. So I'm going to set your stone aside right here so we can dive on into the tarot cards first, and then we're going to pull some oracle cards as well, maybe some more tarot. Let's start with these tarot first. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So these I will be reading facing you guys. We have the Tower. Okay, the Tower card. We have Queen of Wands. Next, Five of Swords. And lastly for tarot, we have the Four of Cups. Yeah, I definitely see that this person is, there's a lot of turmoil kind of going on either in their lives or in your connection together. I also feel like there's been, for them even, it's almost like there's some growth that has been stunted or something that's preventing them from moving forward. And that's why this energy of the Tower is sweeping in, because they're needing to grow. There's something that haven't really, it's almost like a lesson they're needing to learn that's preventing them from moving forward. And that's with the Ace of Wands. So I feel as though they are going to experience, if they aren't already experiencing, they are going to experience some kind of overturn in their life where either they're finding like a feeling of emotional collapse, where everything feels like it's against them, or just or even something in their life that is changing. The Tower card is all about kind of disruption and change, but it is for their highest good. It's probably even for the highest good of your relationship in general, and your connection in general, that they experience this, and that maybe you might even feel this too, just being around them, depending on how close you are to them. But I do feel as though this is going to jumpstart some kind of growth. So if it's you that's kind of the catalyst for this Tower energy, then this is offering them the opportunity to grow. And even the Wands is a very spiritual energy as well. So it does have to do with inner growth and spiritual growth. And that's kind of the theme that I'm hearing for them, is that they are needing to grow out of this kind of phase in their life, or moving into a new level of understanding and maturity even. So I see that for them. But the Five of Swords, the Five of Swords really does have to do with conflict and overcoming conflict. So I feel as though it's almost difficult for them to walk away without being like having the last say on things. And but it still isn't fulfilling them. So even if so you might think like they're feeling like they've won or something like that, or maybe they think they've won, but they're realizing that it doesn't really make them feel any better about the situation. So I do feel like they're going to learn that it really doesn't, being right isn't necessarily like the most important thing, even though that might seem like that's how they are currently. I think part of the lesson here too for them is learning that being right isn't always the most important thing, because because the truth is, it can be subjective depending on the person in the situation, and sometimes coming to a mutual understanding is more important than winning a fight. And that's what I feel like they are kind of in that mindset of, like, they just need to win the fight and they don't care who gets hurt in the process. And with the Four of Cups, this kind of is showing that it's not really working for them. Like, even they're not fulfilled by being, quote, like the winner of the situation. They're not really fulfilled by it either. And I think there's going to be somebody, either you coming in and just saying, like, whatever, I'm not going to fight with you anymore. Like, I'm done fighting. And either they're going to learn from this, or they're going to kind of perpetuate kind of how they're reacting to this kind of thing, of how they're being in these disagreements or having these conflicts. But I feel like more likely than not, they are going to grow from this, and it will take time. But you could see, like, in this image, I don't know if you can really see, but on her shirt, it does say, "I'm over it." And that kind of is a good overall kind of energy for the Four of Cups card, is that it's just kind of this feeling of, like, I'm not really fulfilled. This isn't really working for me anymore. Like, I'm ready for something different. And then you see Spirit offering this cup to, the figure in this card, and she may miss it. She may not see the positive in the situation because she's too busy kind of being over it, like being kind of jaded by the whole thing. So to me, this is saying that they're going to have the opportunity to make a change and make a difference if they are able to get out of their own head. So let's see what other kind of issues this person is having, or what their problem is. What else do we need to know about this person, this situation? We have Balance. So there's almost two, is like maybe their lack of feeling and perseverance. So I feel like their lack of feeling, they might even feel kind of uninspired right now and just kind of feel like, what's the point? And angry, angry with themselves too, I feel, or just like, this like frustration of either not being understood, and they're like taking it out on other people. But with Balance, I feel like the Tower card is kind of disrupting their balance in order for them to redefine what balance means for them in their life, So I do think that all of this kind of turmoil they're going through is trying to bring them back into balance. So it's somewhere along the way they've kind of either gotten too strict with themselves or maybe over analytical, and this is really teaching them to kind of push through and overcome. They're definitely going through what I think of kind of like what this person, maybe what their issue is, or like what's their reasoning for acting the way they are. I do think they're feeling this kind of breakdown of stability in their life, and it's teaching them to remain balanced and to persevere, to keep going, to overcome this time in their life. But they're gonna have to change things a little bit. They're gonna have to grow. They're gonna have to question and look inward and make those changes as well. I do feel like in some ways either you in the situation or they just feel like defeated. Again, despite like they like want to be able to say they're right and you're wrong, which that's a total human, that's very human of us, right? It's like to not want to feel defeated or anything like that. But I feel like despite that, they do feel defeated, despite maybe kind of fighting the good fight, like for their point of view. I feel like they're feeling a bit defeated just because things seem like they're not working out for them. So keep that in mind, that they are going through some, emotional turmoil, and maybe even turmoil in some aspect of their life. And maybe we don't, maybe you're not even sure what that is, but they are experiencing that at some level, and it could be at an inner level as well, and they might not be sharing that, but it is causing them to feel kind of like, just like this negative outlook of like, what's the point? I'm over it, which is tough to go through. And hopefully they come out of it on the other side, a little more balanced. And that's what the Tower is all about. It is meant to bring back, things back into balance again, that no longer serve us, that have caused us only stress, or it's just not working. So in some ways, if we do not basically, if we do not sorry, if we do not change, and the universe keeps pushing us to change and we don't do it, then something like the Tower is going to come in and just force us to change. So that's kind of what they're experiencing, I feel. We have manifestation, inspiration, and life purpose. So this is bringing this person more towards their life purpose. And I do feel like if you are, struggling to maybe figure out what they're going through, or what's going on with this person, whether or not you're in conflict with them, or they're just seem kind of depressed or out of it, I feel as though they are manifesting. This is kind of leading them towards their life purpose. And sometimes this could take some time, especially with the Tower, because there is a time period after the Tower energy where we're kind of like recovering and rebuilding our energy back up, or rebuilding our confidence up. But they are manifesting their life purpose. I mentioned too, with the Ace of Wands in reverse, like they might be feeling uninspired. So it is really positive that there is a new inspiration coming in. We see that also, as I mentioned, with Spirit kind of offering some kind of opportunity, some kind of new path, new way of looking at things to inspire them to continue on their path, right? To continue on their life purpose path. So that's awesome. Let's ask really how you can work with this energy, or work with this person. Like, what is needed if you do want to reconcile things with them, or maybe you just, you want to be able to help this person. Let's see what you can do about this. So I do feel that this is something that this person is just going to have to go through, but know that they are transforming as a person. We have discernment, and it says, see the truth of the situation, use common sense, and do not be fooled. Pay attention, your intuition knows. So I do feel like you're gonna have to be careful, or at least, discerning about how much energy you want to give this person, because this is, it's important to know, like, also, and we have gentleness too, but it's important to know that this person is going through this at a soul level, even, to just at least be understanding, because we also have gentleness, and gentleness says strength is gentle, true kindness has wings, love in action endures. So be discerning about how much energy you want to give to this person, knowing that it says also see the truth of the situation. So knowing that this is kind of a pivotal time in this person's life, in their spiritual growth, their personal growth, towards their life purpose, so towards what they're, an experience that their soul wanted to have in order to grow, and in order to raise their vibration or get a higher perspective. This is leading them towards that. So definitely be discerning with your time, and trusting in your intuition of, what's going to be right for you. If this person does tend to, maybe this person, takes energy from you, but to be discerning and also be gentle. So in other words, don't let their turmoil affect your energy. but also, you know, and that's kind of how gentle, I feel like being gentle is also kind of letting things go, or like, there's even like, I'm being drawn to the doves too, here too, is being at peace with yourself and knowing that this doesn't have to do with you, that this has to do with their own growth and their own triggers and turmoil that they're going through right now. So keeping that in mind kind of hopefully will help you feel a little less, you know, a little less like it's on you to figure everything out for them, because they're going through this growth, and it's a difficult growth with the Ace of Wands in reverse. I feel like this is difficult, you know, this is hard for them to feel inspired and to feel motivated to get through this. And really all you can do for this time being is to send love, you know, send love, be aware of what's going on beneath the surface and not take it too personally. So let's finish up with these witch oracle cards just to see what other message comes through. What else are they, what is this person's kind of deal? What are they going through? Whoops, that almost wanted to come out, but I'll wait for maybe 1 or 2 cards to come out for group 1. We have Green Witch, foraging whole foods and earth. Okay. Gray Witch, neutralization, polarity, and shadows. So it seems as though what's going to be best for this person is continuing to ground themselves. And I'm not sure if, you know, this may not even be something that you can actually help this person with. Maybe it is something, but really taking care of their health and their body. That's what I'm getting from the Green Witch. We also have Gray Witch, green and gray, which is kind of interesting that both these colors came out for them. But there's neutralization, polarity, and shadows. So to me, this represents, again, rebalancing in their life, and that might start with their health, with their energy. It's almost like getting out, getting into the woods, into nature, reconnecting with the earth. If you were to ground yourself as well, with maybe even having their energy affecting you, grounding yourself would be helpful as well, because we have this neutralization. There's needing to, like, currently there might be polarity between the two of you where you're really at opposite ends of a conflict, you know, you just cannot see eye to eye with each other. And the only way to balance that and to kind of resolve that even within yourself maybe, or how their energy is affecting you, is to focus on your health. And we have Skeptical Witch. So with Skeptical Witch, we have questions, hesitations, and doubts. I feel as though you might have a hard time trusting this person because you're just not sure when. And you might even feel like, I'm almost feeling too with Skeptical Witch, is that you even doubt like that this person is going to change or grow. And I think the only thing you really can do is, if that's the case, is to just kind of hold space for them and be discerning with your time and how much time you actually give this person, because this is why they're experiencing the Tower, is because maybe they have a hard time changing, you know, they have a hard time breaking free of old patterns. So I think if there was a time, this is going to be it for them, at least to change in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just a little bit. They are changing, and I think it's fair for you to maybe take a step back and, you know, don't necessarily get involved per se if that doesn't resonate with you. Definitely don't do that, because I see how being kind of a little skeptical of their intentions at any given time is hard for you. So trust in that intuition. I mean, that's also was a part of this discerning card as well, is trusting your intuition about whether or not this person is going to change. But know that like the universe, or even karma to some extent, like karma is coming around for them to try to help them, to try to like jolt them with this, you know, with the lightning bolt of the Tower, and just like jolting them out of like old behaviors, old toxic behaviors, that just old patterns that are just not working for them. So group one, don't forget to give a big thumbs up, comment down below. If you want to see some of my other pick a card readings, you can check those out down below. I will link them in the description box. You can watch a video about your soul's path. I'll link that above and below. That's gonna do it for this pick a card though. Don't forget to subscribe for more messages just like this, but otherwise I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, all my celestial beings who chose pile number 2. I have your pile right here with the Chevron Amethyst. So I'm going to set your stone aside right here so that we can dive into your tarot cards first. So let's see, we have the 8 of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse. So I'm reading these facing you. Okay. And lastly, we have Judgment. Judgment card. Okay. Interesting. So we have the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So this person, I feel like they are in love. I feel like they might have some kind of maybe even a love interest with you or with somebody else. I feel like they're going through a lot emotionally, and a lot of times with the Ace of Cups, this does feel kind of like a romantic start or beginning. But there is something that is kind of holding them back. I feel like they're feeling very confused right now. And there's even maybe some opportunity that just came in for them, or this could even be like a love interest that just came in quickly for them. And they might not really know what to do about it. I feel like this is kind of a temporary thing. You know, it's a temporary problem. I don't feel like it's inherently something like an issue with who they are. I feel like it's just something they're dealing with currently, especially because we have Judgment. So I do feel like with Judgment that you see the people kind of rising up out of graves actually in this card, and they're overseen, they're kind of called upon by this angel above. So Judgment is really about like Judgment Day is kind of having a reckoning, having an awakening and a deeper, greater understanding. So I feel like this is something that they're figuring out for themselves. I'm seeing also kind of like difficulty in establishing or grounding themselves, making a concerted effort in some area. Like they might be unsure of where to put their roots down because there's a lot of movement here. There could be travel too with 8 of Wands. So they might be having a hard time grounding themselves and really taking root. Maybe even like committing to a relationship or committing to a person, committing to you maybe even, if that resonates for this group. But either way, I feel like they have a lot of love to give. They have a lot of emotion to give, but there's still like a youthfulness here, or even like maybe an immaturity towards picking a direction and sticking with it. They always have this urge to be on the go and to be on the run. I do feel though that this person is going to understand themselves better, understand what's best for themselves, what's best for the situation. Maybe even if you guys are a romantic couple, it doesn't have to be, but if you are, they may be recognizing, you know, what's going to be best for your relationship and your connection. I feel like they may also kind of have a hard time. I mentioned like putting down roots, but I also feel like they have a hard time like finishing things, completing projects, or building upon something, like creating some kind of foundation. They have a hard time doing that because they don't know yet. They're listening to their heart at this point, and they're listening to just their emotion and heart versus like having a clear path or having a clear direction. So this is, again, like this energy for me is like them being on the go, not being able to really pick and choose like a clear path, because they're just kind of, in some ways, like they are winging it, you know? But yeah, with the Eight of Wands, you can see this motorcycle is kind of just, you know, driving forward in the middle of a desert, just kind of like out there in the middle of nowhere, with the movement of these wands like shooting through the air like arrows. So I feel like they are going to find the answers to be able to provide a little more like understanding for you, for themselves. But I think one of the messages coming through here is like the problem is that they also do not really know the answer to maybe even the questions you're asking them. They're just not sure, you know, and that's just where they're at right now. I feel like, again, I feel like this is temporary and maybe just like a phase or a cycle that they're going through, but they themselves don't have like a good answer, basically, which could be really frustrating. Okay, let's see what other messages we have about this person. What is their problem? What is their issue right now? What's going on with them? We have divine timing just flew out. You might have seen that. And also results. So this is the Judgment card. This is divine timing. I mentioned an awakening. So for them, and also kind of the arrows finding their mark. That's the Eight of Wands energy, is the information, the results hitting their mark. Like the energy is out there, but it just doesn't have any like, they're not really sure what the result is, but intuitively they just know that it's going to hit, you know, find some kind of results for them. And this is kind of confirmation that yes, like in divine timing, they will have the answer. Either they will have an answer for you, or they will have an answer for themselves to understand better. And that's what this Judgment card is saying, is like divine intervention is what's going to lead to the results that you're wanting from them and that they're looking for. But until then, it might just feel very frustrating and very, you know, what's going on with them kind of thing. Okay. So let's keep going with some more oracle cards. What else do we need to know about these results? Maybe about kind of what we're looking for. We have dreams. So yeah, with the Ace of Cups, I mean, this person, I mentioned like following their intuition, following their heart. They have big dreams and they have big goals, but they're just really not sure how they're going to get them to take root and grow. And I think like there is this energy here of the Nine of Pentacles that is showing, you know, showing commitment, showing results, showing the prosperity and the fertility here of their dreams. But they just don't know what those are going to be yet. Oh yeah, there is this psychic ability with them. So they're being led by their psychic abilities with the Ace of Cups. They're being led by their intuition, as I mentioned. This, you know, Ace of Cups, definitely. And we have peace, but it's a very angelic card, this peace card. So I feel like to find peace with this person, it is just going to be important to kind of let them listen to their own intuition, even though it feels like they're not, even though it feels like they have no direction or that they have no plan. For this person, it feels like they are going to find the results they want. It's just coming in a divine timing kind of a situation. You know, like it's just, they can't, there's no rhyme or reason to it. They're just fully in their heart and they're fully just listening to their divine timing, listening to their intuition. So let's see what you can do about this. Let's ask the cards, what can you do about this situation, this person? Either to kind of deal with their energy, resolve this problem, or even just for yourself, you know, what kind of energy is going to work for you the best. And we have literally the card energy coming out. It says life force is flowing. So this is flowing. This is working for them. Whatever they're doing is actually working for them. It says open yourself to receive the power from within. So the question is are you connecting with your own energy? Have you gotten caught up in their energy so much that you've forgotten that your own energy and your own power is important, is going to benefit you and help you work towards your goals as well? So there might be a disconnect for you from your own energy. So just be aware to reconnect with that. And if you're wondering how to do that, becoming aware of your body is the first awesome step to connecting to your energy. So if you're very focused in your mind, if you're very up in that you know, upper chakra area, pulling that energy down, pulling your focus down into your body, sitting in quiet and peaceful silence, even asking your guides for help, but just becoming very aware of yourself is going to help you figure out where your energy is guiding you, and also where your energy ends and theirs begin, and their energy begins. So you might just be, your energy might be flowing so much into them, and you're needing to take that back again. Take back your energy, take back your awareness of your own energy and your own feelings, your own thoughts. Maybe your thoughts have been about them a lot, or maybe your thoughts have just been about this interaction with them, what they're going through, etc., etc. But really, you can only help somebody else if you're grounded and connected with your own energy. That's when your surroundings begin to change, your relationships, your connections begin to change for the better, is when you're connected to your own energy. So let's see any further advice about kind of what you can do. We have dreamer and flexibility. So let's start with dreamer. It says your dreams have chosen you. Find fulfillment in pursuing your destiny. This is the magic of life. So a lot of dreams that maybe both of you share together, or that you share differently. And the cards are wanting you to return to your dreams and know that you are also a dreamer. So maybe maybe you both are dreamers in this sense. And that's what connected the two of you. That's how you kind of relate to each other. Or if it's a family member, maybe you get that from this family member. But it's reminding you of your own dreams, regardless of what this person is choosing to do, because they're just flowing. And this is another card that came out, which is flexibility. And I'll read flexibility for you guys. And it says, gently flow through the turbulence. Life has the ability to shape you. Bend, don't break. So I do feel like there's a common goal and a common lesson that both of you are learning. So I do feel like this person is definitely part of your soul group. And you guys are learning at a deeper level to go with the flow of the energy of the universe. Go with that flow. And the turbulence that maybe you're experiencing right now, either from this person or, from this situation, the turbulence you're experiencing is teaching you to bend and to return back into your energy and trusting in your own power. So you might want to maybe take a night, listen to some positive music, and either dance in the flow of your energy or move your energy around, move your energy like you're collecting it and building it and moving it in the direction that you want it to go, working with your own energy, remembering that the power is within you. You don't have to rely on this person's energy or this person's dreams, because I feel like your dreams are aligning together, but you're needing to let go as far as, letting this flowing through the turbulence of this moment and going with it and being flexible with it. So this means not giving up on your own dreams, even for the sake of this other person either, but just trusting in the divine timing that the results are coming for both of you. I feel like there's either like you guys are very tightly, like you're almost like your destinies are tightly entwined. And that's why you're kind of like you know, having a little difficulty trying to maneuver through this so that you don't give up on your dreams for this other person, but that you both are kind of moving towards this commonality, this common goal. Wow, okay, group 2, let's finish up some final Which Becomes Her Oracle deck cards. If you're interested in, so these were made by V Love and Tarot, who I purchased these from. And then if you're interested in the Celestial Rose Oracle deck as well, these are my Oracle deck cards. If you enjoyed those, these two right here, I will link those in the description box below, just in case you're interested. So, but I always love to support, you know, small shops and Oracle deck creators, or just any kind of deck creators. All right, let's finish up with these cards. Let's see, you know, how are they working with this energy? How could they work with this energy? What are some final messages that this deck wants to share with us? Any messages I've missed? I do feel that this is just a phase, that this, you know, turbulence or even this travel that they're going through, or maybe, you know, things are picking up pace. Yeah, it has Art Witch, creativity, expression, and beauty. This person is very artistic and intuitive. That's kind of come up a lot. So I feel as though just allowing this to unfold the way it needs to is important. It feels like, you know, expression, creativity, beauty. I feel like just allowing this person to be who they are. It just feels like they're just on their trajectory, and it's gonna be hard to shift them from that trajectory because they're being divinely guided. And that doesn't mean that you aren't also being divinely guided. It's just that maybe reminding yourself that you have something special to offer the world as well, and that you're needed to do that. And it might even mean maybe, you know, going separately at some point, or not that you have to permanently, you know, part ways, but that you also have to be working on your own things. So we have Augury Witch, which is omens, signs, and observations. I love this deck so much. It's so fun. So I feel like with this is that you are also being divinely guided. Be aware of the signs that you are receiving. Messages are coming in. Messages are coming in quickly, you know, for you, for this person. And it's important to trust in these abilities, because I feel like this person just can't help themselves. I feel like they are just being pulled to do this because this is their calling in life. This is their calling. It's like their angels are calling them in these directions, and it's not always kind of clear cut what they're going to do next. So that might be frustrating if your energy is kind of wrapped up in that, if that makes sense. All right, let's finish up. Medium Witch, again, we're getting psychic. We actually got two more cards here. Psychic, contact, and closure. So again, I feel, you know, I'm hearing with closure is just like, there's gonna need to be kind of a letting go of wanting this person to be somebody else, because I just feel like they're just on their own path, or at least in this time in their life. And then next we have the Fairy Witch with roots, culture, and majesty. Very artistic, fairy-like person, and it feels like they're hard to tie down. They're hard, again, I mentioned too, it's hard for them to put roots into something. It's hard for them to commit to something, and that is because of this fairy nature that they have, this psychic nature that is them. So as much as they love, either they love you, you know, in a romantic way, as honest as they are about who they, you know, about themselves, it's gonna be hard for them to be reliable. You know, if you're frustrated with them not being reliable, that's part of who they are. I feel like it's gonna be hard, you know, at least in this part of their life, they're just going off of their intuition. Like they are just being drawn towards their dreams. So I think maybe the expectations, maybe your expectations of this person's follow through is just gonna have to be lower, because I feel like they're just swept up in certain things. But this is your opportunity too, you know, and that's what I feel is like, this is your opportunity to go with your own flow and be inspired by their independence in order to find your own creative gifts, in order to, you know, pursue those as well. So they're actually giving you the opportunity to pursue your own gifts and your own dreams. Okay, group 2, thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I will link below a video about why you feel like a fairy if you want to watch that next. If you want to watch another pick a card reading about your soul path and what your destiny is, you can also find that linked below. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below, let me know if this reading did resonate with you, and subscribe for more messages just like this one. That's gonna do it for this reading though. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Okay, group 3, are you ready for your messages all about what is their deal? What is their problem? What is going on with them? All right, let's find out. We're gonna dive into your tarot cards first. Have your malachite stone crystal right here. We're just gonna set her aside right there so we can see what your tarot cards have to say. We have the Emperor, the Ten of Swords in reverse. So I will be reading these facing you guys, okay? We have the Death card in reverse. Okay. Queen of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. What's going on with this person? What is going on? Okay. What is their problem? Yeah, so this person, I feel like, I do feel like this person is creating control in their life. I feel like they definitely value having a strong sense of control over things and wanting to feel this, you know, comfort. The Queen of Cups is showing that this person cares, okay? This person still cares. Still has an emotional compassion for others, but there's definitely this drive with the Emperor card. There's a drive to kind of like be very driven in maybe in a material way, like driven for their career goals, driven towards making like a home for themselves and security. We're seeing with the Ten of Swords and the Death card in reverse, kind of where maybe even where the problem lies for them, which is almost as in letting go. There's things that they are holding on to because maybe even the fear of change as well, the fear of change. Ten of Swords is a lot of kind of mental blockage, mental worry and anxiety and stress that I think, you know, they're holding on to and they can't move past from it. This could be something that needs to change, needs to be let go of, but they're not able to. I do feel like emotionally they're dealing with this fairly well, but I'm also kind of getting the impression too, like that they might not show their emotions as well. Like they might have the appearance, yeah, okay, so they might have the appearance that everything's going really well and that they have their life together, and they like to maybe even show that off a little bit, you know? They like to show off that they're in control or that they're a leader and that they have everything together. But within and internally, they have a hard time dealing with change and dealing with some shadows. So I almost feel like I'm kind of hearing, don't let their external success fool you. They're dealing with things just like the rest of us, or they're, you know, challenged with certain things mentally and emotionally just like the rest of us. Although they try to kind of mentally think it out and mentally figure it out, and it just doesn't work for them all the time. You know, like they just try to kind of think it away, but it really just kind of consumes them more by trying to do that. The Death card is not about someone dying or that, you know, they're dying or anything like that. So the Death card in the tarot is about endings. It's about changes, and it's about new beginnings. So for them, the fact that the Death card is in reverse, it feels as though either there's a hidden turnover that they're not sharing, or that they're unable to kind of move forward in a change in a different direction, or that change is very difficult for this person, and maybe they're facing something like that currently that is tearing them up. It's a possibility that somebody has died close to them. That is a possibility. Someone maybe died close to them and now they are unable to talk about it and unable to work through that, and that they're still struggling with that internally. But I feel like either way, there is something that they're struggling with internally that they don't necessarily show on the outside. I feel like they're good with money and they're good with practical things. You know, they're fine with taking risks with money. They're fine with all of that. But when it comes to like expressing and talking about difficult things, they don't want to talk about it. They want to keep it to themselves, or like they'd rather just avoid it and ignore the problem, which makes sense why you guys are here, why you're wondering like, what is up with this person? Because maybe you just cannot even get them to talk to you and work through this and move on from this. You know, maybe there was something in the past that you guys had a disagreement on, or just this person's just acting strange. You're not sure why. It's probably because maybe they don't even want to talk about it, but yet they're still either holding resentment or just holding like worry and anxiety about this. Okay, it looks like a card has flipped over here. Yeah. Growth and planning. So to me, the energy is that this person is, it's not that they aren't growing, it's just that they're still not ready to talk about this. I feel like mentally they do maybe even over plan in some ways. They need to have a good plan before they take an action. Let's see how they're growing. Let's just pull a card. Oh, okay, how are they growing? Surrender. Yeah, they're learning to let go. That's how they're growing. That's what this whole situation is teaching them right now, or this energy that's surrounding them right now is teaching them. It's teaching them to surrender and let go of certain things. So I mentioned before with death in reverse, it's hard for them to move on. It's hard for them to move past this. But I do feel like it's not that they're completely blocked off though. So it just is taking them a while to move forward, to get to the other side of this where they're able to either talk about it or really process what's going on with planning. Like they're processing what's happening or what has happened, and they're learning to deal with that and to work with that. Okay, and that might be a struggle. That might be hard to kind of handle. The Queen of Cups is present though. So I feel like if you're feeling as though this energy, that like they're lacking empathy or lacking compassion or they don't care, I don't think that's true. I'm not seeing that that's the case. I think more so they are sensing everything. They just can't talk about it. All right, we have prosperity. Yeah, I'm gonna put this right over the Knight of Pentacles. Really, it belongs over either one of these, the Emperor, but I mentioned they are very good with money. And that's kind of, that might even be their strong suit, is their ability to manifest prosperity or grow prosperity. I'm curious what the Queen of Cups is though, because she's very strong. She has a very strong presence in this reading. This may even be you in this situation. Maybe you're bringing a kind heart and compassion, but I also feel like this person does have empathy for others. Lighten your load. Yeah. And maybe this does belong. Okay, so that's why this came up over the Emperor, the Lighten Your Load card. Oh, we have this one too, and Protection. All right, let's put that here as well. there really are, okay, so they're protecting themselves in order to continue to be a pillar for others. I think they feel like they need to be the strong one in the situation and be the pillar for others, maybe even for you. So they're kind of like protecting themselves by not opening up, by not giving you either the conversation that you want, or by being unable to let go and move on. Internally, they're stuck, but externally, they continue to work to build prosperity, to take on a lot in their life. And they are carrying a heavy load. You know, they feel this burden, but they're they're keeping everything together. They're using that masculine energy, you know, with the Emperor card. This is a strong masculine energy. But also it is the Aries, so it is also the youngest zodiac, which shows that it's still, you know, there's still a naivety here to them dealing with some of the deeper emotional aspects of things. There's also this need to like kind of like go for it and rush and be a risk taker a little bit, but they're comfortable doing that in like their everyday life with maybe their work and being kind of outspoken and driven, but there's an aspect of themselves that they are protecting right now and something that they're learning to let go. Let's see how you can work with this energy, and you know, what is the advice that the cards have for you with this person and, you know, dealing with this person. Let's see. How can group 3 work with their energy? We have healing. Bless all in need of healing, hope, and love. Spirit, grant us strength and wisdom. Guide us to the path of wellness. So you might be working on healing yourself. You might need to allow for this person to heal as well. You both might be healing from this situation, but you're doing it in different ways. And it could be hard for you to understand them because they are like so protective of their inner world. We also have kindness. Live with compassion. Open your heart to all life forms. Be an angel with hands. You know, I mentioned on my TikTok recently, if you are on TikTok, you could follow me at Celeste Simone Tarot. And I mentioned how when we give attention and focus to the aspects of people that are frustrating us, even if it's true that what they've done, you know, isn't fair or is wrong, the more focus we give it, the more we talk about it, and the more light we give to it or life that we give to it, the more those types of characteristics come up in that person. So the message I'm hearing from these cards is to do your best to just offer kindness and compassion, because I do think this person is dealing with a lot beneath the surface that they don't know how to cope with. Maybe they've never been taught how to deal with stuff like this. They don't know how to have good conversations either, maybe about stuff like this. But to be understanding that they're healing from a loss or a change or a letting go, you know, they're still healing and they're taking maybe a lot of time. It's also important for you to focus on your own wellness and your own healing, and to be kind to yourself and have understanding for yourself about maybe how long it's taking for you to process this as well. So there's almost like a difference in processing what has happened for the two of you guys. And so you may feel at odds with each other, or that you don't understand each other, but it's really this like a lot going on beneath the surface that isn't being communicated, maybe by this person or by both of you. You're unable to really communicate. And so, you know, growing from this process and healing is kind of gonna be what patience is needed for. All right, and one last one, we have integrity. Drop the things that offend your soul. Embrace your truth. It's your life. Let no one live it for you. So I mentioned this person, you know, this other message is coming through for some of you. that may resonate, that maybe this person, because they act like they have their life together, maybe they look down on you or accuse you of not being like in as good of a place as they are, or maybe you feel that way. And I'm sensing like, you know, it's your life, let no one live it for you. Live your life the way you want to live it. And their path and what they are driven to do doesn't have to be you. Doesn't have to be what you're driven to do. You know, maybe this person is the kind of person who just takes on too much. That's what they do. They have a lot of energy, or they just have a lot of, you know, again, they're driven in a very physical emperor type way, where maybe they're focused on making money, or they're just really good at that. That's not everybody's path. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to bring in a lot of prosperity, but you're going to do it in your own way. You know, you're going to do it in the way that is best for you. And if you are the Queen of Cups and you're more sensitive and you're more attuned to your emotions than this person is, because that's kind of what I am sensing, is that you might be this Queen of Cups energy where you're a sensitive soul. You're capable of dealing with these emotions a lot better than this person. So the truth, embrace your own truth and know that, you know, live in your own integrity. Don't feel like you have to meet this other person's expectations or try to keep up with this person, because I just feel like they're on their own path and they're growing and learning to surrender in their own ways. You know, they're just very different. I feel like you guys might just be very different people as well. Just, you know, maybe you're part of the same soul group. You're learning from each other and growing from your differences, but you shouldn't have to give up your own personal truth or integrity to like meet this person's expectations or try to keep up with this other person, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, let's keep going. We have just a few more oracle cards to pull. Really curious. Wow, that came out very quickly. We have Wiccan Witch, Religion, Occult, and Worship. Okay. And I'm going to link below to both these cards, the Witch Becomes Her cards, which are which I purchased from the Love and Tarot, and also my own oracle deck, the Celestial Rose Oracle deck, which I've already pulled from, so in case you're interested. All right, but let's keep going. I do love this deck as well. Wiccan Witch, I wonder too if you maybe even are Wiccan, or you might just be more drawn to more spiritual things than this person. They're very grounded, they're very practical, and that might be why you guys are so different, and they just, you know, they have their own things that they're learning. All right, we also have Ceremonial Witch. Interesting, a lot of religion, which to me is structured spirituality. Ceremonial Witch, precision, structure, precision, and meticulous, which is interesting about structure coming through as well. I'm going to pull one more card. I feel like that'll be a clarifier for kind of how these two relate to one another. I also am hearing for you that it might be helpful for you to find your own structure, your own guidance, by maybe doing some type of ceremony, really for healing, even also like finding a ceremony for yourself to find structure in healing, if that makes sense. So it could be like meditation, it could be spell work in some way that makes sense, maybe scripting. It could also be making a point to talk to somebody else, you know, maybe a professional who you sit down and talk to somebody, because this person is not opening up to you. It could be very, very painful that this person is not opening up to you, and therefore you may need to like express yourself to somebody else. We have Shamanic Witch. This is such an awesome card, actually. I love this one. It's a Shamanic Witch, Awareness, Consciousness, Restoration. And then we have White Witch, Light Work, Benevolence, and Purity. Once again, I'm getting the sense that you're like a natural witch yourself. You might be a light worker. You might resonate with being a light worker, but this person may not be accepting of that aspect of you, and that can be difficult too. And shamanic, which like you're just naturally this spiritual person. I feel like you're connected to higher realms. And that's again like Queen of Cups energy. That's why the Queen of Cups came out, you know? I do see that for you. So I feel like there's this, again, there's such a difference between the two of you that you kind of can create that conflict between each other where you're not seeing eye to eye. For you though, I think embracing your healing abilities, even maybe you're an empath as a light worker. Most light workers are also empaths. They can sense energy. But you might want to take that approach where you're sending positive energy, you're transmuting energy for this person as well at a higher level, and just taking that approach rather than trying to pull the conversation out of them. Maybe they're not even talking to you at all, you know, maybe they've cut out completely any kind of conversation. They're just not open to it at all. You, from your standpoint as a light worker, have the ability to purify energy, have the ability to raise vibrations within yourself that's then going to help this connection. So a lot of really spiritual witches came out for this. I do feel like creating some kind of ceremony, calling upon your angels maybe, and sending positive energy to this person, if that's something that resonates with you, if you want to send that kind of healing energy their way. But really, integrity I'm hearing is let this be confirmation for you that you're not making this up, that this is for you very real. You know, this is legit magical energy surrounding you, and you might be a light worker, and that's why this person might react negatively to you. If they, you know, if they are, or if they're resistant to you in some way, it can be because they're not ready for this growth, or they're resisting this growth that you're going through. You know, as you grow, as you heal, and as your vibration raises, you may find that people like this they kind of resist you because they're nervous about growing. They're nervous about letting go of all of their patterns and all of their letting go. Again, they're resistant to letting go of and change. So if you're changing, if you're growing, if you're becoming more spiritually aware and enlightened, that's going to be scary for them because they're afraid of the change. That's so, okay, yeah, I feel like that's it for this reading. Oh my gosh, I feel like that was like the final strong message for you guys. If you want to watch even more spiritual pick a card readings, I will link to a playlist down below, and up above, I will link to another pick a card reading all about light workers, what kind of light worker you are. I'll link to that above. Otherwise, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below, let me know if it resonated with you. Subscribe to have even more messages in your feed. Come back again and see another pick a card with me. That's gonna do for this reading though. I hope to see you back again soon. Bye for now.